Okay? So, now, when an ionic compound is insoluble or slightly soluble, then an equilibrium established. Equilibrium established. And when you look at the equation, mx, this is a generic equation, and it's a solid, but when it dissociates, n plus aqueous and x minus aqueous into their ions. Okay, so this is a generic equation for any ionic compound. This is a generic equation. The equilibrium constant for this type of reaction is called the solubility product constant, KSP, and for this reaction we write KSP, concentration of M plus ion times concentration of X minus ion. So we can write KSP, solubility product constant, for this generic equation we can write this way. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. How do we write solubility product expression for the following salt? So let's work on a couple of examples. We have given first Hg2Cl2 and B is HgCl2. We need to write KSP for these two salts. How do we write? So, now first we need to write its expression, equation, generic equation. Let's say we are picking this salt, okay? When you write equation for this salt, it's in solid form, which is in equilibrium with Hg2 plus aqueous plus 2Cl minus 1 aqueous. So that's their equilibrium equation. And when we write KSP for this particular salt, we can have Hg2 plus concentration and Cl minus 1, and you see here there is a 2, so we can put 2 here. So that's its solubility expression constant KSP for this salt. Now we are going to work on this one, this salt, okay? So when you write for salt B, then let's write first equation HgCl2 solid, which is in equilibrium with Hg2 plus aqueous plus 2Cl minus 1 aqueous write for KSP, then we can write Hg2 plus concentration, that ion concentration, times Cl minus 1 concentration, and since this is a 2, we can put 2 here, square. So that's how we write KSP. So let's work on a couple of more examples on writing KSP. Okay, let me find a couple of more examples on writing KSP. Alright, so now let's see if we have NiCO3 solid. So we will write this equation first. Ni plus 2, which is in aqueous, and CO3 2 minus is in aqueous. When you write KSP expression, then you can say concentration of Ni plus 2 and CO3 2 minus. That's the expression, KSP expression for the salt, NiCO3 salt. Now let's work on one more problem. CaOH2. This is ionic solid. When we write, first we need to write equilibrium equation. We can write Ca2 plus, which is in aqueous, and I need to write 2 here. I forgot to write 2 here because CaOH2, and which is in equilibrium, and it's 2 moles of OH minus ion aqueous. Okay, so now when we write KSP expression, we can write concentration of Ca plus 2 and concentration of OH minus 1 square, since here it's 2, so that's why we put up here 2. So that's where we write KSP expression for these ionic compounds.